Hello, hello, my friends. Yes, the rumors are true. Kringle Candle is releasing a fall reserve lineup this Saturday, September 23rd at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, there will be 7 new fragrances that are part of this lineup. I have 3 of them here today to share with you just what my cold sniff impressions are. These were not sent to me in PR. I did purchase these. Kringle Candle was kind enough to let their ambassadors purchase these about a week and a half ago. They let us know like, hey, we're going to be having this new lineup coming. They give us a very short window where we can go ahead and pre-purchase these candles. They do place a limitation on us, so rest assured there are plenty of candles for everybody to go around. They actually did limit us to 2 per fragrance. I don't know if that limitation will still be in place when these candles go live on Saturday morning, but just be aware that I think that they're trying to put limits just like they did on the Halloween collection on some of these candles that are a little bit more in higher demand, so that way more people have an opportunity to get their hands on them. But I am really excited to share my thoughts with you. I will put pictures up of the candles that I did not purchase and what their fragrance notes are. Make sure you're following Kringle Candle over on Instagram. I do have a discount code, Joyful Life. It will save you an additional 15% off of your purchase. These candles very rarely go on sale. And also, one of the things that I do want to warn you all about, which you may have heard from some of the other ambassadors, there was a slight price increase on these candles. They are going to be $34. They used to be $31.50, and I think that that is the standard price of a lot of the regular 2-wick tumbler sizes. So a little bit of a slight price increase. I know, all of us are tired of that nasty word inflation, but it just is what it is at this point. But I did want to let you guys know about that ahead of time. So let's go ahead and dive into what is going to be offered in this collection. So I'm going to go ahead and just give a brief overview really quickly of the 4 scents that I do not have in my possession right now. The first one is Gilded Leaves, and quite honestly, I was on the fence about purchasing this one, and I'm kind of wishing I did because like a lot of you guys, I have to make tough choices. I can't buy everything that I want all the time. So that would have been nice if I could have, but it just was not in my budget this time. This one, I have heard some of the other ambassadors describe it as fresh and woodsy. I will have the fragrance notes put up here, but I know that Ashley Ruth, I was watching her Instagram stories the other day, and she got all of these in, and she kind of gave a brief overview, and she said that it was like woodsy and fresh, not really masculine cologne-y, but it was a very nice fall vibe to it. The other fragrance that will be offered is Royal Cherry. Now, to be 100% honest with you guys, I didn't purchase this one because cherry fragrances just are not really my vibe. I don't know. I mean, they're okay. I have one perfume that has, I have a dupe for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. But cherry fragrances in general, that's not a fragrance that I like my home to smell like, but I have heard from others, if you do like cherry fragrances, that this one is not like cough syrup cherry. I know a lot of people get a little bit nervous that that's the fragrance note that can tend to come out in cherry home fragrances, but I have heard from others that that is not necessarily the case. Radiant Apple is another candle that was offered, and I contemplated picking this one up, but to be honest with you guys, again, we are heading almost into the month of October, and to be very frank with you guys, apple is a fragrance that I typically only burn in the months of August and September. By the time I get into October and November, I'm pretty much done with apple. I mean, if I've got a little bit left in my collection, I'll finish it up, but it's not really necessarily a fragrance note that I'm starting to light up again. So that is another fragrance. And then another one that I was curious about but didn't make the cut is Santal and Pumpkin. This one, I believe that there's like a sandalwood note in there with the pumpkin. And then of course I'm hearing other reviewers talk about it, and I'm like, that one does sound good. Maybe I should have picked that one up as well. And maybe I still will, but those are the ones that I did not pick up. I do know, actually, just as I have sat down to film this, I saw my friend Melanie, Mr. Kong's mom. She did receive all of these candles, and I believe that she just put up her video and her thoughts on that. I know that most of you in the home fragrance community know who Melanie is, but if you want a full in-depth of all of the fragrances, I'm going to point you to her. I wouldn't be surprised if Brett, Philly Candleman, uploads a video pretty soon as well with his thoughts. But let me go ahead and share my thoughts with you about 3 candles. One of them I feel like is the one that's getting probably the most hype. I don't know, I think a lot of people, when I've seen in the Kringle Facebook group, they talking about like what candles they are interested in picking up. I feel like 2 of these 3 are the ones that I am constantly seeing over and over again. So let's go ahead and start out with pumpkin buns. So we've got on this label here, it looks like pumpkins that are trying to look like monkey bread or like some type of cinnamon roll on here. We see that it's like pumpkin, but it's like a gourmand pumpkin. The fragrance notes on pumpkin buns, top notes are pumpkin, apple, peach, and clove. Mid notes of cinnamon, ginger, mixed nuts, and nutmeg, and base notes of caramel, maple syrup, milk, and vanilla. Now this one did get a little bit sweaty in transport. It didn't melt, but it was a little bit sweaty when it arrived to me. In fairness, here in Arizona, we have cooled down to about 90 degrees. This is fall for us here. But this one is really nice. You guys, I'm telling you, I have smelled this fragrance before. I feel like I have had a Homeworks candle that has smelled exactly like this before, but I cannot pinpoint what it is. This is a very spicy pumpkin fragrance. I definitely get that clove and nutmeg and cinnamon in here. There is the slight creaminess in here, but not a very overly creamy pumpkin. This is a very spicy. I would say that if you are somebody that does not like overly sweet fragrances, you may find this one cloying. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you on that. I like it. My husband, he didn't love it so much. And if you guys caught my video last weekend with Cody, he went over my Christmas collection with me. You guys know he's pretty opinionated about the home fragrance. This one is very, very, very sweet, very spiced pumpkin. It's not like sweet cinnamon pumpkin at Bath & Body Works. I do detect that caramel note or caramel. How do you guys pronounce it? Caramel? Caramel? I don't know. I go back and forth. I do detect that caramel note as well as some maple syrup. And those are the 2 notes in there that I think, like I said earlier, can come off a little bit too sweet. So if you are somebody who likes super sweet gourmands, sweet, spicy gourmands, I think that you will like this one, but I would probably recommend that if you want to burn this one, I would pair it alongside maybe like sugar pumpkins, which is more of like a creamy pumpkin scent. I'm trying to think of another, you know what other Kringle candle scent is really nice that I feel like nobody's talked about because it was in the 3-wick Halloween collection is the Pumpkin Smash. That one is kind of like a white pumpkin, like a more of a creamy pumpkin type of note. I just see blending this with like more of a vanilla note to maybe tone down some of the spiciness factor of it. But again, if you love spicy candles, spicy fall pumpkin candles, then that is one that I would recommend. I don't pick up the peach note or really not really any apple, maybe a little bit in there, but it's very much a spicy candle. All right, the next candle that I'm going to talk about is red maple. Now the fragrance notes on red maple, top notes are jasmine, orange, saffron. Mid notes of ambergris, don't know if I pronounced that correctly, cedarwood, vanilla. Base notes of fir, moss, and musk. All right, you guys. I opened this one yesterday, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, okay? As an ambassador, whatever. I don't like this one. I don't like it at all. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking with these fragrance notes. I think I saw the cedarwood and the vanilla, and I thought, oh, that's what pulled me in, because you guys know I typically like fragrances that have a cedarwood note in it. I don't like this one. I think that this candle smells like it should have been in the Halloween collection, because it's dirty smelling to me. I really don't like it. Now, that being said, I'm sure that there will be tons of people who love fragrances like this. There's something in this that, I don't know, it kind of gives me the same vibe, which by the way, I I bought another candle that I couldn't do it. I burned it once and I was like, I don't like it. It's kind of giving me, it's not the same fragrance, but there's a note in here that's giving off that same dirty vibe note as the Black Cats and Bats collection, or not collection, candle that came out in the Halloween collection. It's a 3-wick. If you like that candle, I think that you would like this one. I did not like that candle. I tried burning it once. It lasted for an hour and I was like, nope, can't do it. I don't like it, because you guys know how I am. I say that if you don't like a candle on cold sniff, always try burning it at least once just to see if it transforms upon burn. But to be honest with you guys, I don't know. I just don't see myself liking this one. I do get the saffron note in there. The saffron is in there. Maybe, I don't smell orange. Maybe a little bit of jasmine in there. There's a slight floralness to this. Now I had Cody smell this and he said his opinion was that this smells like decaying leaves. He said it's like when he's out hunting, which you guys saw in the last one. My husband is a very avid outdoorsman. He's like, it's like when I'm out hunting or fishing, and he says it's like the forest floor is damp in this time of year and those leaves have fallen like usually in like late November. And he's like, there's just kind of like a smell to the earth. He said that's what this candle reminds him of. So if you are somebody who enjoys that scent, then you may really like the red maple, but that is a fragrance that is just, it really, to be honest with you guys, is not at all what I was expecting. But that being said, there's always a market for somebody with that, and I'm sure that the quality of the burn will be good. I will say that both of these candles, I mean, that pumpkin buns is really strong on cold sniff, and the red maple is also pretty strong on cold sniff. So I think that in terms of the performance, you're probably going to get a pretty powerful and strong strength and throw. And then I'm going to round it out with probably what is the star of the show. I think this is the fragrance. I think this one and pumpkin buns are probably the ones that I have seen the most excitement generated with. This is Great Pumpkin. Now we all think of the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. So very simple label on it. I actually kind of like this very simple take on it. The fragrance notes on Great Pumpkin: top notes, pumpkin, cinnamon. Mid notes, nutmeg, ginger root. Base notes of toffee and vanilla. This is a good one, you guys. I had posted in the Kringle, what was that, Facebook group. I said, spoiler alert, this one is amazing. I have a feeling of all of the candles, I think this one has the highest risk of selling out first. This is a great pumpkin scent. I mean, they picked the name appropriately. You smell pumpkin. I smell the creaminess of vanilla in here, but that toffee note, I do get a little bit of that toffee note, but it's not overly sweet and cloying. Pumpkin buns, again, like I said, very, very sweet, very spicy. This is more of like a creamy pumpkin, but it's not a white pumpkin type of fragrance. I think sometimes that gets confused. White pumpkin scents tend to have a creaminess to it. This is like your regular pumpkin, but there's an element of creaminess to it. I don't detect a ton of ginger, maybe a little bit of nutmeg, but not really. There's an element of spice in the background of this, but it's very toned down. It's very like a gentle spice in here. This is a very, very nice pumpkin fragrance. I really like this one, actually. Yeah, that's a great one. I think that this is a great candle that would blend well with any other pumpkin fragrances that you want. Or this one, to me, it just seems like it's probably the most versatile of the bunch because it would just go with everything. You could probably burn a candle that's more of a leaf note. You could burn something that's more gourmand. And I feel like that one is just not going to overpower everything else. So let me know in the comment box down below, do you plan on shopping this reserve drop, or are you kind of like, I have way too many candles in my collection. I don't even have enough time to burn all of these fall fragrances. I would be curious to know. Also, don't forget, again, my code JOYFULLIFE will save you 15% if you do choose to shop this sale. Well, it's not really a sale, this launch, I would say. Again, the launch date is Saturday, September 23rd, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are on the West Coast like me, you better be getting up at 6 a.m. because, like I said, I'm not to be that person like sound the alarm, but I will say that I think that that Great Pumpkin is probably going to be the one that sells out first. I'll take some bets down below. I'm not really a gambling lady, but I'm pretty certain on that one. Don't forget that if you liked this video or found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up video. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to talk about mostly home fragrance. I sprinkle in a little bit of beauty here and there here on my channel, but if that sounds like content that you would like to stick around for, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until my next video, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day, and thank you so much for spending your time with me. Bye.